Artificial Intelligence Dr. www.abcpharma.net/English. User question. Is there a correlation between the timing of the stomach pain, midnight, 3 a.m., and the pacemaker's programmed rate of 50 beats per minute? Could the pacemaker's activity be triggering a vagal response leading to gastric discomfort? GPT-4o answer. There could be a correlation between the timing of the stomach pain, midnight, 3 a.m., and the pacemaker's programmed rate of 50 beats per minute. The pacemaker's activity might indeed be triggering a vagal response leading to gastric discomfort. Here are some considerations and possible mechanisms. Circadian rhythms and autonomic nervous system. 1. Autonomic balance. During the night, especially in the early hours, there is an increased parasympathetic, vagal, tone and decreased sympathetic activity. 1. A fixed heart rate of 50 beats per minute may not sufficiently support the physiological needs during these periods, potentially leading to imbalances in autonomic regulation. 2. Gastric secretions. Increased vagal tone can enhance gastric acid secretion, which might contribute to the sensation of stomach pain and discomfort. 2. The timing of these symptoms coincides with periods of heightened vagal activity. Vagal response. 1. Vagal stimulation. The vagus nerve significantly influences gastric motility and secretions. 1. If the pacemaker's activity or the low heart rate enhances vagal tone, it could exacerbate gastric acid production and cause pain. 2. Gastroesophageal reflux. Increased vagal tone can also lead to relaxation of the lower esophageal sphincter, causing gastroesophageal reflux, which might present as pain and a bitter taste in the mouth. Heart rate and gastrointestinal function. 1. Bradycardia and gastric perfusion. A heart rate of 50 beats per minute might lead to reduced cardiac output, affecting gastric perfusion and potentially leading to ischemic-like pain or discomfort, particularly in a vulnerable elderly patient. 2. Gastric motility. Slow heart rate might influence gastric motility patterns, possibly leading to delayed gastric emptying and discomfort. Timing of symptoms. 1. Midnight and 3 a.m. These times correspond to periods of peak melatonin production and low cortisol levels, contributing to changes in gastrointestinal motility and secretions. 1. The fixed pacing rate might not adapt to these physiological changes, leading to discomfort. 2. Sleep cycles. Pain at these times might also be related to transitions between different sleep stages, with autonomic fluctuations potentially interacting with the fixed-rate pacemaker's influence on the heart and gastrointestinal system. Potential mechanisms. 1. Vagal hyperactivity. Enhanced vagal activity during sleep could lead to increased gastric acid secretion and motility changes, causing pain. 2. Mismatch in physiological needs. The fixed rate of the pacemaker may not adequately support the body's dynamic needs during different sleep phases, leading to symptoms. Further investigation, including monitoring autonomic activity, gastric pH levels, and detailed analysis of the timing of symptoms in relation to sleep stages and pacemaker settings, would be necessary to confirm the exact mechanisms and correlations. Claude AI answer. This is an excellent question that touches on the complex interplay between cardiac pacing, the autonomic nervous system, and gastrointestinal function. Let's break this down. 1. Timing correlation. The occurrence of symptoms at 3 a.m. is intriguing. 1. This time coincides with the lowest point of the circadian rhythm for many physiological processes, including heart rate and blood pressure. 1. At this time, the body's natural heart rate tends to be at its lowest. The parasympathetic nervous system, including vagal tone, is typically more dominant. 2. Pacemaker rate and vagal response. The programmed rate of 50 beats per minute might be insufficient for this patient during sleep, potentially leading to relative bradycardia. Compensatory mechanisms being activated. Increased vagal tone as the body tries to regulate blood pressure and perfusion. 3. Vagal stimulation and gastric symptoms. Increased vagal tone can indeed lead to various gastrointestinal effects. Increased gastric acid secretion. Enhanced gastrointestinal motility. Relaxation of the lower esophageal sphincter, potentially leading to reflux. 4. Pacemaker position and vagal stimulation. While the AVIR VR is designed to minimize interaction with surrounding structures, it's possible that the patient's sleeping position could alter the device's relationship to nearby tissues. Subtle movements of the device could intermittently stimulate vagal nerve fibers. 5. Potential mechanism. A possible sequence of events could be: the low pacing rate at 3 a.m. leads to relative bradycardia. This triggers compensatory mechanisms, including increased vagal tone. The vagal stimulation then causes gastric discomfort and increased salivation. To establish a definitive correlation, you would need to 1. Monitor the patient's heart rate and rhythm during sleep. 2. Assess for any correlation between pacemaker activity and symptom onset. 3. Consider a trial of increasing the nighttime pacing rate to see if symptoms improve. It's important to note that while this mechanism is plausible, other factors, such as primary gastrointestinal issues, should also be considered. A multidisciplinary approach involving both cardiology and gastroenterology might be beneficial in fully evaluating this patient's symptoms. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this potential correlation or discuss alternative explanations for the patient's symptoms?